Hello and welcome. My name is Pierre Brault and welcome to Isolation Theatre. Tonight we are performing a classic from William Shakespeare, Julius Caesar, live from the Gladstone Theatre. Tonight's show should be just under an hour. It is an abridged version after all, but stick around after the show for a talkback session, and if you have any questions, just put them in the comments section and we'll get to them after the show. Now, as you know, the arts industry has been completely devastated by this pandemic. How bad is it? Well, look what I'm wearing. No. What we're looking for, and what we greatly appreciate if possible, is your support. And contributions to this production can be made by PayPal, e-transfer, or you can e-transfer it at, pardon me, I'll try that one more time, PayPal or by e-transfer to pierrebrault.com. Pardon me, I'll try this one more time. E-transfer to pierre@pierrebrault.com. That's it. Links will be in the comment section on the main page. Tonight, my broadcast director is, as usual, the wonderful Al Connors, and my producer, the wonderful Jameen Ackert. Thanks also to the Gladstone for the use of the space, and any contributions that you wish to make to the theatre directly can be made at thegladstone.ca. Now, please take a minute to like and subscribe this YouTube channel, and make sure you're on our email list to learn about what's coming up. And you can add your name to that list at pierrebrault.com. You know, I'm a big fan of Shakespeare, and I, in fact, teach Shakespeare. And if you like Shakespeare, I'll be continuing that by leading a 6-week course called Shakespeare in the Afternoon. You can check today's email for more information or visit pierrebrault.com for more info. But if you like comedy, for example, and you want to get more comfortable in front of an audience, stand-up comedy with Pierre Brault will begin also in September. Again, more details on the main website. Thank you again for joining us. We truly appreciate it. Now, pour yourself a glass of something, okay? Turn off your phones. Unless you're watching from your phone, then don't turn it off. The show is about to begin.
You idle creatures, get you home! Is this a holiday?
All hail Caesar and rejoice in his triumph!
Wherefore rejoice? What conquest brings Caesar home? What tributaries follow him to Rome to grace in captive bonds his chariot wheels? Oh, you blocks! You stones, you worse than senseless things! Be gone! Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies.
Hail Caesar!
Set on and leave no ceremony. Caesar! What is it in the press who calls on me? I hear a tongue shriller than all the music cry, Caesar. Speak! Caesar is turned to hear. Beware the Ides of March! Brutus, come. What man is that?
It's a soothsayer, Caesar. He tells you to beware the Ides of March.
Set him before me and let me see his face.
Fellow, come. Come and see Caesar. Speak once again.
What sayest to me now? Speak once again. Caesar, beware the Ides of March! Here's a dreamer. Let us leave him pass.
Hail Caesar!
Brutus, a word in private.
Noble Cassius, 'tis my pleasure. Come away.
Brutus, I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as you are wont to have with me.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble on my own countenance, merely unto myself.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion. Tell me, Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other things.
It is just. And it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such eyes will turn
2, that you have no such eyes as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself, which you know not of.
Hail Caesar!
What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Aye? Do you? Then I must think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius, though I love Caesar well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? Or what is it that you would impart to me?
Well, honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but my single self.
I was born as free as Caesar, so were you. We both have fed as well, we both can endure winter's cold as well as he.
For once, on a cold and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, now leap into the water with me, into this angry flood, and swim to yonder point?" Upon a word, accoutred as I was, I plunged, and I bade him follow. And so he did. But ere we could arrive at the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink!" So I, from the waves of the Tiber, did I, the tired Caesar, bear. And this man is now become a god. And Cassius is a wretched creature who must bend his body if Caesar cares carelessly but look on him.
It's another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Why, man, the man doth bestride the world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs to peep about, to find ourselves a dishonorable grave. Men are sometimes masters of the fate. The fault, dear Brutus, lies not in the stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. Well, what should there be in that Caesar? Why should that name sound more than yours? Write them together. Yours is as fair a name. Sound them. It doth become the mouth as well. Now, in name of all the gods at once, upon what meat does this Caesar feed, that he is grown so great? What you would work on me, I have some aim for this present. I would not be any further moved. What you have said I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear. I am glad that my weak words have struck so much fire from Brutus.
Hail Caesar!
The game's begun.
Caesar!
Look, Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve. He will, after his sour fashion, tell you what proceeded of worthy note today.
Hail Caesar!
Mark Antony! Mark Antony!
Here, Caesar.
Mark Antony, let me have men about me that are fat,
Sleek-headed men and such as sleeps a nights. Yon Cassius has a lean, hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous. Oh, fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. Cassius is a noble Roman and well given.
Would he were fatter. But I fear him not.
Such men as he are never at heart's ease while they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore they are very dangerous. I rather tell thee what is fear than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this ear is deaf, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of him.
Hail Caesar!
You pulled me by the cloak, Brutus. Would you and Cassius speak with me? Aye, Casca. Tell Cassius and myself what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so sad. Oh, why? There was a crown offered to him.
Who offered him the crown?
Well, I saw Mark Antony. offer him the crown. Yeah, it was not a crown neither. It was one of those coronets. And he put it by once, but for all that, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. Then he offered it to him again, and he put it by again. But to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. And then he offered it a third time, and he put it by a third time. And still, as he refused it, the rabblement, they uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar had refused the crown that it almost choked Caesar, for he swooned and fell down. For my own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But soft, I pray you, what, did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace and he foamed at the mouth. He was speechless. 'Tis very like, for he hath the falling sickness.
You know, Caesar hath it not, but you and I and Casca, we have the falling sickness.
Well, I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down. There was more foolery yet, if I could remember.
Will you have dinner with me tonight?
If I be alive and your dinner worth eating.
Good, I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell to you both. What a blunt fellow this Casca has grown to be. So is he now in execution of any bold and noble enterprise, however he puts on this tardy form. Tomorrow, if it so please you, speak with me. Come to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, Brutus, think of the world.
Well, Brutus, thou art noble. Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. And I will this night at his window throw, as if they came from several citizens' writings, all tending to great opinion that Rome holds of Brutus's name. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure.
Hail, Caesar!
It must be by Caesar's death. And for my part, I, Brutus, I know no personal cause to spur at him, but for the general. He would be crowned. How might that change his nature? That's the question. Shall Rome stand under one man's awe? My ancestors did from the streets of Rome, the Tarquin drive when he was called a king. Somebody knocks. Since Cassius did first wet me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of the dreadful thing and the first motion, all in the interim is like a phantasma or a hideous dream.
Sir, 'tis your brother Cassius at the door, who doth desire to see you. There are more with him.
Let them enter. They are the faction. Oh, conspiracy. Shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night when evils are most free.
Good morning. Good morrow, Brutus.
Do we trouble you? I think we are too bold upon your rest. No, Cassius. I have been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these men who come along with you? Yes, every man. And no man here but honors you, and every one doth wish you had the opinion of yourself, which every noble Roman bears of you. They are all welcome. Let us all swear our resolution. No, Cassius, not an oath. We not need any oath, but our own cause to prick our redress. Do not stain the virtue of our enterprise to think that our cause did need an oath. Agreed, then. So, shall no other man be touched but Caesar? I think it not meet Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find in him a shrewd contriver. Let Antony and Caesar
fall together. Our course will seem too bloody, Cassius, to cut the head off and then hack off the limbs. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers, not butchers. Caesar must bleed for it. And gentle friends, kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for dogs. And as for Mark Antony, think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is cut off. Yet I do fear him, for in the engrafted love he bears to Caesar. He is given only to sports, to wilderness, and much company. There is no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter. Very well. The clock has now stricken 3. It is time to part. But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come today or no, for he is superstitious grown of late. It may be these apparent prodigies may hold him from the capital today. Never fear that. If that be so resolved, I, Casca, can oversway him. Let me work. For I can give his humor a true bent, and I will bring him to the capital. Thanks, noble Casca. The morning comes upon us. We'll leave you, Brutus. And friends, disperse yourselves. But remember, all remember, when you have what you have said, show yourselves to be true Romans. Good gentlemen, look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our purposes, but bear it as our Roman actors do, with untired spirit and formal constancy. And so, good morrow to you, everyone.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia, wife, wherefore rise you now? It is not for your health thus to commit your weak condition to the raw, cold morning.
Not for yours neither. You urgently, Brutus, you stole from my bed. And yesternight at supper, you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms crossed. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, Portia. That is all.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? No, my Brutus. You have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right of virtue of my place, I ought to know of, that you unfold to me why you are so heavy, and what men tonight have you had resort to you? For here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from the darkness.
Gentle Portia.
Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it expected that I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If that were true, then I should know this secret. Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy.
Oh, ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Portia, go in a while. By and by, thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee, all the charactery of my sad brows. Come.
Nor heaven nor earth have been at peace tonight. Thrice hath my wife Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, Help! Ho! They murder Caesar! Ah, see, she comes. Calpurnia.
What do you mean, Caesar? What think you walk forth? You shall not stir out of the house today. Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me ne'er looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished. Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. Fierce fiery warriors fought in the clouds. The ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond us all, and I do fear them. Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste death but once. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he. We are two lions littered in one day, and I, the elder and more terrible, and Caesar shall go forth. Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and he shall stay. He shall say you are not well today. Please, let me upon my knee prevail you in this. Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay home. Ah, here is the noble Casca arrived. He shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail! Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you for the Senate house.
You are come in a very happy time, Casca, to bear my greetings to the senators, to tell them that I will not come today. Say that he is sick, Casca. Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I, in conquest, stretched my arms so far to be afeard of to tell greybeards the truth? Casca, go and tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, and I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight. She saw my statue, which, like a fountain, with 100 spouts did run pure blood. And many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these she does apply for warnings and portents of evils imminent, and on her knee hath begged me that I should stay at home today.
Well, but this dream is all misinterpreted. Well, this is a fair vision and fortunate. Your statue spouting blood, in which so many smiling Romans bathe, that signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood. This, by Calpurnia's dream, is signified.
In this way you have well expounded on it.
And know it now, Caesar, that the Senate have concluded to give you this day a mighty crown to Caesar. Now, if you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock for someone to say, hey, break up the Senate until another time when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia. I am ashamed that I did yield to them. Give me my robe, for I will go. Soothsayer, the Ides of March are come.
Aye, Caesar, but not yet gone.
Hail Caesar!
Senators, are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Oh, yes, Metellus, what is your petition?
Most high, most mighty, and puissant Caesar, I, Metellus, throw before thy seat a humble heart for the repealing of my banished brother.
I must prevent thee, Metellus. Thy brother by decree was banished. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. For no, Caesar doth no wrong.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound sweetly in great Caesar's ear? Brutus? I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring that Metellus' brother may have immediate freedom of repeal.
What? Brutus? What? And you, Cassius?
Pardon, Caesar. Caesar, pardon. As low to thy foot does Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Metellus' brother.
I could be well moved if I were as you, but I am as constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. So in the world 'tis furnished well with men, yet in the number I know but one, that unassailable holds on to his rank, unshaken of motion, and that I am he.
Hear me.
Oh, Caesar, Caesar.
Oh, but Caesar, Caesar.
Hear me, Caesar. Hear me.
Great Caesar.
Oh, Caesar.
But Caesar. Hear me, Caesar. Great Caesar.
Hey, do Brute. Therefore, Caesar.
Liberty! Freedom! Tyranny is dead! Run hence! Say that Cassius proclaims liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement!
People and senators, be not affrighted. Ambition's debt is paid. There is no harm intended to your person, nor no to Rome else. So we are Caesar's friend, that we have abridged his time of fearing death. Come, stoop, Romans, stoop. And let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood up to the elbows, and besmear our swords, and then walk we forth, even to the marketplace, and waving our weapons over our head, let's cry peace, freedom, and liberty.
Stoop and then wash.
How many ages hence shall this lofty scene be acted over in states unborn and accents yet unknown? Soft, who comes here? Welcome, Mark Antony. Almighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, and spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare you well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no instrument of half that worth as those swords made rich with the most noble blood of all the world. I do beseech you, if you bear me hard, now, whilst your purpled hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure, and live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt a place to die. No place will please me so, no mean of death, as here by Caesar. Antony, beg not your death of us. See you, but our hands, and this, the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts, you see not. They are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome, and our hearts do receive you in with all love, good thoughts, and reverence. Only be patient till we have appeased the multitude, beside themselves with fear, and then we will deliver to you the cause why I, that did love Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded. I doubt not your wisdom, that I did love Caesar. Oh, 'tis true.
I blame you not for loving Caesar so.
But what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in our number of our friends, or shall we on and not depend on you? Friends with you, all of you, and am, moreover, suitor that I may produce his body at the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in order of his funeral. You shall, Mark Antony, Brutus, a word. You know not what you do. Do not consent that Antony speak in the funeral. Know you how he may sway the people? They may be moved by what it is he will utter.
I will myself go into the pulpit first and show the reasons of Caesar's death. When Antony speaks, I will protest he speaks by leave and permission.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, here, you take Caesar's body. You shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission. Be it so. I do desire no more. Prepare the body then, and follow us.
Pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds do I now prophesy, which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips to beg voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all parts of Italy. And Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, shall in these confines, with a monarch's voice, cry havoc, and let slip the dogs of war, that this foul deed shall smell above the earth, with carrion men groaning for burial.
We will be satisfied! Let us be satisfied!
Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent. You may hear. Awake your senses that you may better judge. And if there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, I say to him that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than him. And if that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. Who here is so vile that will not love his country? If any speak, for him have I offended. I pause for a reply.
None!
Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same sword for myself, and when it shall please my country to need my death. Here comes the body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the commonwealth.
Bring him with triumph home unto his house. Let him be Caesar.
Good countrymen, let me depart alone, and for my sake stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's body, and grace to his speech tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make.
Bring him with triumph home unto his house. Let him be Caesar. Give him the statue.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears.
I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it were a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered for it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men? Come I to speak at Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus said he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Well, ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus said he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious. And sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? Oh, masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who, you all know, are honorable men. I would not do them wrong. I would rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself. And you, then I will wrong such honorable men. But here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read, and they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds and dip their napkins in his sacred blood, yet beg a hair for his memory, and dying mention it within their wills, bequeathing it a rich legacy unto their issue.
We will hear the will. Read it, Mark Antony.
No, have patience.
Read it, Mark Antony.
Gentle friends. No, I must not read it. No. No, it is not meet. You know how Caesar loved you. I mean, you are not wood. You are not stones, but men. And being men, hearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. Oh, it is good. You know not that you are his heirs, for if you should, what would come of it, eh?
Read the will! You shall read us the will, Caesar's will.
Will you be patient? Will you stay a while? I have overshot myself to tell of you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men whose swords have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors! Honorable men? The will!
You will compel me then to read the will? Then make a ring around the corpse of Caesar, and let me show you him that made the will. If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time he put it on. It was on a summer's evening in a tent, the day he overcame the Nervi. Look, in this place, Cassius's dagger ran through. See the rent that envious Casca made? Through this, well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And as he
plucked his cursed steel away. Mark how the blood of Caesar followed it. For Brutus was Caesar's angel. Judge you, O gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude, more than strong traitor's arms, quite vanquished him. Then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle, muffling his face, great Caesar fell. And oh, what a fall there was, my countrymen. Then I and you and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel a dint of pity. These are gracious drops. Kind souls, what, weep when you but behold our Caesar's venture wounded vesture? Look you here. Here is himself, marred, as you see, with traitors.
Oh, piteous spectacle! Oh, noble Caesar!
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, as Brutus is. I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth to stir men's blood.
We'll mutiny! Away then! Come, seek the conspirators!
No, friends. Why, friends, you do not know what you do. Wherein hath Caesar deserved your loves? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then. You forgot of the will I told you of.
Most true! The will! Let's stay and hear the will!
Here is the will. And under Caesar's seal, to every Roman he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas. Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors, his newly planted orchards on this side of the Tiber. He has left to you and to your heirs forever common places to walk abroad, recreate yourselves. Oh, here was a Caesar. When comes another?
Never! Come away! We'll burn his body in the holy place, and with the brands, fire the traitors' houses.
Now let it work. Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt. Bring me to Octavius.
Tear him home! Firebrands! Kill Brutus! Some
Stand ho! My noble brother, Cassius, you look troubled.
My noble brother, Brutus, you have done me wrong.
Judge not, you gods. Wrong mine enemies. If not so, how should I wrong my brother?
You have condemned and noted one of my men for taking bribes. In such a time, it is not meet that every small offense should bear comment.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned for having an itching palm to sell and mart your offices for gold to undeservers.
I, an itching palm?
You know that you are Brutus that speaks this, or by the gods, this speech were else your last. Remember March, the Ides of March. Remember? Did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What? Shall one of us that struck the foremost man in all this world, shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes for so much trash as may be grasped thus? I'd rather be a dog and bay at the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus, bait me not. I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me and urge me no more. I shall forget myself Have mind upon your health and tempt me no further.
Away, you slight man. Hear me, for I will speak. Must I give way and room to your rash choler? Shall I be frightened when a madman stares? Must I stand and crouch under your testy humor?
Has it come to this? You wrong me in every way. You wrong me, Brutus. Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that which I shall be sorry for.
You have done that which you shall be sorry for. There's no terror in you, Cassius, in your threats, for I am armed, so strong in honesty that they pass me by as the idle wind. I did send for you, for gold to pay my legions, which you denied me.
I did not. He was but a fool that brought that message. My answer back. Brutus hath rived my heart. Ah, come, Mark Antony, come with your new ally, young Octavius. Come, revenge yourselves on Cassius, for Cassius is weary of this world, hated by the one he loves, all faults observed. Here is my sword. Here is my breast. Take it forth. That I denied thee gold will give you my heart. Strike as thou didst at Caesar. For I know, when thou didst hate him worse, thou lovest him better than thou ever lovest Cassius. Sheath your dagger. When I spoke, I was ill-tempered too. Do you confess so much? Give me your hand. And my heart too. I did not think you could be so angry. Oh, Cassius, I am sick of many griefs. I have here received letters that young Octavius and Mark Antony come down with a mighty power, bending their expedition towards Philippi. What do you think? What do you think of marching Philippi presently? Well, I think it not good. 'Tis better that the enemy seek us. So shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers, doing himself offense, whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness. Good reasons, but good reasons must force give place to better. Our legions are brimful, our cause is ripe. There is a tide in the affairs of men which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. And on such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves, or lose our ventures. Then, with your will, we'll along ourselves and meet at Philippi. Early tomorrow we'll rise, and hence. Oh, dear brother, this was an ill beginning of the night. Never let such division between our souls come again. Let it not, Brutus. Good night, brother. Now, Mark Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep to the hills in the upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here, answering before we do demand of them. Tut, Octavius, I am in their bosoms, and I know wherefore they do it. They could be content to visit other places and come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this face to fasten our thoughts that they have courage. 'Tis not so. Prepare your generals, then. The enemy comes on in gallant show. Their bloody sign of battle is hung out, and something to be done immediately. Octavius, you lead your battle softly upon the left hand of the even field. Upon the right hand, I. Keep thou to the left. Why do you cross me in this exurgent? I do not cross you, but I will do so. Look you now, Brutus and Cassius, they do seek a parley. We will answer their charge. Make forth, the generals will have some words. Well, greetings, noble Brutus. Cassius, you are well met, Mark Antony, and Octavius. Words before blows. Is it so, countrymen? Well, not that we love words better, as you do. Good. Words are better than bad strokes. Villains, you showed your teeth like apes, and fawned like hounds, and bowed like bondmen, kissing Caesar's feet, whilst damned Casca, like a cur behind, struck Caesar on the neck. Come, the cause. If arguing makes us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, you, I draw my sword against conspirators. When think you this sword goes up again? Never till Caesar's 33 wounds will be avenged, or till another Caesar hath added slaughter to the sword of traitors. Thou canst not die by traitors' hand unless thou brings them with thee. I was not born to die on Brutus's sword. Oh, if thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou couldst not die more honorably.
A peevish schoolboy, worthless of such honor, joined with a masker and a reveler.
Come, Antony, away. Defiance, traitors, we hurl in your teeth. If you dare to fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have the stomach.
Why now? Blow wind! Swell billow, swim bark! The storm is up, all is on hazard!
Now, noble Brutus, the gods today stand friendly, that we may, lovers, in peace lead our days and age. But if we lose the battle, then is the very last time we shall speak together. What are you determined to do then, if we lose the battle? You are contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome? No, no, Cassius. Think not that noble Roman, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But this same day must end the work that the Ides of March began. And whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take, forever and forever farewell, Cassius. If we do meet again, we shall smile. If not, then our parting was made well. Forever and forever and ever. Farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, 'tis this parting was well made. Well then, lead on! Oh, that a man might know the end of this day's business before it came, eh? But it suffice that the day will end, and then the end is known. Come away!
This day I breathed first. Time has come around, and where I did begin, there shall I end. My life has run its compass. Oh, Cassius, coward that I am to have lived so long. Come hither, Sirrah. In Parthia did I take thee prisoner, and then I swore thee, saving of thy life, that whatsoever I did bid thee do, thou shouldst attempt it. Come now. Keep thy oath. Now be a freeman, and with this good sword that ran through Caesar's bowels, search this bosom. Stand not to answer. Here, take thou this hilt, and when my face is covered as 'tis now, guide the sword. Caesar, thou art revenged, even with the sword that killed thee. Stop here.
Here does Cassius's body lie. He is slain. Oh, Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords into our proper entrails. Huh? The last of all the Romans. Fare thee well. It is impossible that Rome should ever breed thy fellow. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius. I shall find time. Come, therefore, let us to the field. Set our battles. 'Tis 3 o'clock, and Romans, yet ere the night we shall in a second fight. Yet, countrymen, Oh, yet hold up your heads! Fight! Fight, you noble Romans! Go on! Go on! Cassius is perished! Rejoice! And see where Brutus is alive or dead! Come. Poor remains of friends. Come, we'll rest on this rock. Hey, sit thee down, sit thee down. Slaying is the word. It is a deed and fashion. The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me several times by night. At Sardis once, and this last night here in Philippi. I know my hour is come. Thou seest the world, how it goes. Our enemies have beat us to the pit. It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than to tarry till they push us. Good friends, thou knowest that we went to school together. Even for our love, I pray thee, hold thou this sword while I run upon it. Farewell to you, and you, and you. My heart doth joy that yet in all my life I found no man, but he was true to me. So fare you well. For Brutus's tongue hath almost ended his life's story. Night hangs upon my eyes. My bones would rest. They have but labored to attain this hour. Caesar, now be still. I killed not thee with half so good a will. What man is that? So, Brutus should be found. All that served Brutus I will entertain. This was the noblest Roman of them all. Of all the conspirators, save only he did in envy of Caesar. He only, in general honest thought and common good to all, he was the one. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in his nature might stand up and say to the world, this was a man. According to his virtue, let us use him with all respect and use of burial. Within my tent these bones shall lie tonight, most like a soldier, ordered honorably. So call the field to the rest and let's away to part the glories of this happy day. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to slip out of the toga into something more comfortable. And if you have any questions or comments that you'd like to make, we'll be right back with them. See you in a bit.
Can you hear me, Al? Yeah, great.
Okay, so we're going to say thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any questions or comments or things you'd like to say, add questions, and just let us know in the comments section. Just to let you know, the opening for the theater is happening hopefully very, very soon. We have been unable to even do a live stream in the last few months, so I'm very grateful that we can actually get back in here to do live streams again. And of course, I really can't wait until we get you back here again as well. So in the meantime, as I've said, I've been studying a lot of Shakespeare, which has always been a bit of a hobby of mine. And I've turned that hobby actually into teaching. So now I teach an afternoon Shakespeare course. And it really is, you know, Shakespeare can be intimidating for a lot of people. But I think I learned something probably in the last few years of actually doing Shakespeare professionally. And I've got a real good idea of how Shakespeare, the playwright, the actor, and the writer worked. And I try to provide that context while I'm doing the Shakespeare in the Afternoon course. So I hope you can join us for that. Any questions?
Okay, so first of all, there's a lot of people saying thank you.
Thank you.
And the show wished that they had this when they were in grade 9.
Well, that is one of the things that when you're looking at Julius Caesar, I mean, we all remember it from grade 9 or grade 10, and it really had very, very little impact on us. But now that I'm older, almost an adult, I love history, and I've come to realize that this particular play by Shakespeare is very, very close to what actually happened. And so it's a wonderful little look into how history is written and how we receive it. So,
Tony wants to know how you did the pre-recorded crowd segments.
So Tony wants to know how I did the pre-recorded crowd sequences. And my wonderful partner, Al Connors, who you might see in the back. Oh, here he comes running down now. Al Connors and I, yesterday, recorded a bunch of my own voices, and then the great Al mixed them up, and that's what you heard today. He's really quite a stable genius.
So it's got lots of great quotes in it.
Yes, so this is one of Shakespeare's most oft-quoted plays. Obviously, this is very abridged. It is a much longer play. But I managed to try and hold off onto all the wonderful phrases that Shakespeare has in this particular one, you know. Let's slip the dogs of war. There's just so many. But just a side note, I always realize when I'm saying these lines, friends, sorry, I'm doing this. Is that better? I always realize when I'm doing these lines, these very, very famous lines, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears, I also recognize that this is a language that was written 450 years ago. So while I have great reverence for the lines, I also understand that at the time that they were written, these were actors who were delivering the lines. Shakespeare did not write thinking that I would be performing this in 450 years from now. Shakespeare, in fact, didn't think his writing would go much further than it did. Shakespeare, for example, did not keep a collection of his own work. It was collected after. So it's really quite amazing that we hold such reverence for this language, and yet it's so accessible to all of us. And also, something like Julius Caesar today, the story of the end of a republic and the beginning of a tyranny, I find really, really fascinating and always pertinent. I mean, we could just look around the world and see how many tyrants there are in the world today, or almost tyrants in the world today, and we can see that. And this is not the story of the great Julius Caesar finally becoming an emperor. It's the story of the death of the Roman Republic and the rise of the emperors. Because young Octavius becomes Caesar Augustus, and that is the end of the Republic and the beginning of the empire. So I find it a really fascinating story from all angles, the history and the writing.
Are there other planned performances?
So the question is, are there other planned performances? Well, to be perfectly honest, from the live streams, we don't really know. The live streams, summer is coming up, so not really sure if we're going to be doing more live streams, but we do hope that this will open up in September, and we do hope that you will come and see us in September when it's all safe and distanced and all that. Now, I personally am writing a play, hopefully to be produced next year in the spring. But again, we'll have to see how things are going. You've been incredibly patient, and we really appreciate that. You've also been really generous, which we really appreciate that. I don't like being an online busker. I would much rather the more formal instance of having you come, take a seat, I can shake your hand, we can have fun. So as good as this is, it's better if you're here. Thank you for that question. Any others?
That's kind of it.
All right.
People said great memory, great acting, great dying.
Great dying, yes. Well, that's well, in this play, being solo, I get to die several times.
If you ask people, if one more person subscribes, we have 100 subscribers.
Oh my God, if one more person subscribes, we have 100 subscribers to our YouTube channel. So if you're sitting on the fence and you just want to push us over that edge, one more subscriber, please. Don't make me go home and subscribe to myself, please. Anyway, thank you very much. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you again for joining us. Remember, if you feel like making a donation, please do so. And you can always get any information you want at pierrebrault.com. So on behalf of Al Connors and Jameen Ackert, I, Pierre Brault, thank you so much for coming. And we'll see you next time.